Are you living in the country or are you living in the language? Let's break it down. First, take a look at this map, as this is a geopolitical map of the Earth, and as you can see, there are about 200 countries. But here is the thing, there are about 10,000 languages spoken on Earth. How do you guys even understand each other in Papua New Guinea? So, in a way, it feels like there are 10,000 small, tiny countries, which is much more accurate way of looking at the world than just recognizing 200 political borders. For example, let's take Cambodia, the country that I am living in right now. This is how Cambodia looks like on the geopolitical map, and this is how the Khmer language looks on the linguistic map. Don't you see the difference? Khmer isn't only spoken in Cambodia, it's also spoken in some parts of Thailand and Vietnam. It's like a DLC that lets you explore more of this world. Learning Khmer doesn't just unlock Cambodia, it also gives you access to the communities into other countries. This concept applies everywhere. Take Russia for example. The Russian language is spoken not only in Russia but in many other different countries like Ukraine, Belarus, Baltic states, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan. So, does it mean that if the area speak Russian, it actually feels like you are in Russia, even though you are in a different country politically and geographically? Now imagine that you are in Kazakhstan. Do you guys still remember the film Barat?
Is this my house? Entry, please.
Specifically in the north, most of the people speak Russian rather than Kazakh. And does it really feels like Russia? Yeah, actually 90% yes. The purpose of this video is to encourage young people to learn the language of the country they are traveling to, working in, or living in. Let's say that you are an American living in Korea or Japan. What is the best way to improve your social skills and work opportunities? It's simple, just to learn the local language. This is the foundation of your life overseas, right? But here is the thing. 90% of people never do that. I don't know why, but most of us get too comfortable of staying in the English speaking bubble or any other language bubble while living abroad. And that's exactly why Asian people are so shocked and amazed when white guys speak fluent Chinese or Korean. Do you guys know Xiaoma NYC? That guy speaks fluent Chinese and he can manage to get millions of views just by speaking to the people on the street, because reactions are just amazing. By the way, I even did something similar before while speaking to a Khmer Buddhist monk here in Cambodia in his mother tongue, and he also gave me a viral reaction. But on another hand, take my bad experience as well. In 2023, I've been living in Thailand for 1 year with zero knowledge of Thai language. It was one of my worst experiences of living abroad. Even though it was a bad experience, still much better than life in my home country. But anyways, it could be better if I would know how to speak Thai. And then in 2024, I moved to Cambodia. I was very well prepared because I learned Khmer language in advance. People would ask me, how many years you've been living in Cambodia while I've been staying in Cambodia for 2 days? Just because I already spoke some basic Khmer, which has already put me ahead of most of the foreigners who had been living here in Cambodia for many years without knowing the local language. Let me give you some practical tips based on the locals' point of view. Here in Cambodia, nobody expects a foreigner to eat the local food. Many Cambodians even saying that foreigners are allergic to the Khmer food. But I personally eat a lot of Khmer food. I mean, what are you guys afraid of? It's just very nutritious, healthy, lots of meat and vegetables as well. When I first came to Cambodia, I experienced a bit of culture shock, mainly because of the amount of rice that people eat here. The rice is always free, and Cambodians eat meat differently from Thai people. For example, when I was living in Thailand back then, I never saw Thai people eating meat with bones. But here in Cambodia it's pretty common. At first I was complaining about that. I was like, huh? Why do people eat meat this way? But then I realized that it's actually delicious and I should enjoy the food the way it is. And here is something funny. Some Cambodians believe that if you can't handle eating meat with bones, that means that you are lazy. It was very accurate to me because back then I was very lazy. I was lazy to do housework and clean my house. So people here in Cambodia could sense my laziness even without knowing that in person. They could just notice that by the way I eat. Now here's something interesting. Here in Cambodia, same as in Japan, there's some restaurants with adapted food for foreigners. So basically here in Cambodia there are plenty of restaurants that cook just an adaptation of the local food, especially for the foreigners. And as you guys know, the locals never go to these kinds of restaurants, and it's kind of funny, same as the way that the Japanese people doesn't eat the sushi made especially for the foreigners, right? The problem is that there are many foreigners that not allow themselves to do what the locals do. They are not even trying to enjoy it and they are not comfortable to step out of their bubble. Let's start with you. If you would say to me that you are a white American guy that mostly hangs out with Hispanic people in the US, I wouldn't believe that because you're not. You do hang out with Jessica, Brittany, Sarah, Emily, but you do not hang out with Hector, Rafael, Leonardo from the kitchen, right? And me, I'm Gregory, and back then in my home country I met lots of Colombians and Brazilians, and I can even speak pretty decent Portuguese. Let's give it a try and write down in the comments if you can understand something. Então, é muito aleatório, na verdade, mas agora eu estou falando em português brasileiro, então se você quiser, você pode escrever nos comentários o que você acha do meu português. Unfortunately, as we know, many Koreans left Korean Peninsula for America because of the Korean War. As a result, there are about 2 million Korean Americans in the US. The thing is, Korean Americans are treated as foreigners in South Korea, same as white or black Americans. They face the same level of discrimination as any other foreigner in South Korea. Even though from a genetic standpoint they are just as Korean as anyone else, they are already completely different due to having a different operating system. This system can be reprogrammed if you move somewhere at the age of 5 or 7, but by the time you already turn age of 10, your brain is already completely developed and you cannot change yourself, you cannot change your personality.